Hello class. This week's assignments for Module 11. Now, it's actually fairly short this week. We have a couple of items on the list. Now, we've got trainings. Now, I think before I told everybody pretty much that we would dip into Access ever so slightly. We can't fully go into it simply because, well, this class has to work for everyone, and anyone who has a Mac cannot use Access. So that kind of gives us a little bit of a problem here, you see. If this class is supposed to work for people who have Macs as well. But Access cannot be installed on that. So what we got to do is just kind of make do with what we have. So what we're going to do, as I said before, I think, is dip ever so briefly into Access and then dip back out, move into PowerPoint for the remainder of the semester. So this week, we're going to start that dip. Uh, since you can't actually use the application on anything other than a PC, I've got some trainings here, and I've built my own custom simulator here. Uh, Not going to be completely the same as being in Access, but you kind of get the gist of it. Trainings work just like all the other trainings, the Excel, the PowerPoint, all of those. Hopefully you shouldn't have any issue with those. There is one, if you're using a Mac, I think it asks you to press the delete key on your keyboard. And Macs generally don't have a delete key. They have delete, but it's on their backspace key. So for that one, you may just need to skip to the apply and then go click the delete in the actual menu. Now for the simulation, it's going to be set up kind of like a test. And depending on your resolution, and you'll notice that all of it's not showing up on my screen, but that's fine. Depending on your resolution, you will see different things. My screen is very large, so I can see most of everything, but sometimes things don't line up correctly on this. So if it asks you to, for example, fill up some boxes and things like that, well, and it doesn't quite look right, you'll see pictures and things load up. Let me see if I can find one that I'm talking about here, if I can scooch ahead. There's one that has several boxes in it. Let's see, I think it should be coming up. Zoop, 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 zoop. One more. There's several. Oh, I do have a slight name. I think I said fill out the right here. So there's a bit of a name issue. Second field, third field, last field. Uh, I said first field, next field. Well, you should get they go in the right order. Client, client name, state, rep ID. Although I should fix that naming. I think this is it. Now, for me, this lines up perfectly fine. But for you, depending, maybe it won't. You can press Control minus, Control plus to zoom in. If you're on a Mac, I think it is Command plus and minus. So if it doesn't look like it lines up correctly, you can use that to zoom out, zoom back in. This is one that usually doesn't line up right. Depending on how good your zoom is, it may look something like this. But just zoom out until it lines back up again. And there you go. That's what I mean by, some of these, if they don't line up correctly, just zoom out a little bit and it should. Once you finish, it'll submit, and you can take this as many times as you want or as many times as you need. Now, that is essentially the assignments for the week. If you have any questions or problems, again, as usual, just let me know.